Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to Anime King. And I'm back with a brand new episode of What If Naruto was Shisui's brother with the yellow Sharingan, guys? Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episodes over the other channels if you're new. A new series is currently going on over on Anime King 2, and I just finished a series over on Anime Symbol, but don't worry, more what ifs coming soon for you guys to enjoy. All of the links will be down in the description, so yeah, without further ado or wasting any more time, how about we jump right into this? Let us begin now, guys. So, the last part that we left off, Danzo Shamira had to keep his things in check. Since becoming the Hokage, Tsunade has been on everything and on everyone, making sure that everything is kept in line. So he had to hide all of his rather nefarious activities. However, Danzo had a bad feeling the moment he woke up this morning. Like something just wasn't right, and for the life of him he couldn't put his finger on it. He couldn't tell exactly what it was. However, he just had to be prepared for what the day has to throw at him. Because something seemed rather off, something that he just could not explain. That is when Naruto arrived, along with the masked man, breaching Naruto within the village using is space-time teleportation, as he gave Naruto half an hour until he was going to resurface. Naruto descended upon the group like death itself. Moving through the shadows, Naruto was wiping out root ninjas after root ninjas. Since the return, we were able to see the master that Naruto has become with Genjutsu. Even at a young age, Kakashi was rather shocked how Naruto was able to cast a wide-range genjutsu on several people. And now, as Naruto descended upon the root ninjas, it was chaos, leaving him and Danzo alone. Upon seeing the mark and seeing the eyes, Naruto got angry, focusing his rage towards Danzo. Danzo believed that he was going to defeat and control Naruto. However, he had no idea that the battle was already over. Throughout the fight, Naruto showed his expertise on Genjutsu, getting around and manipulating everything regarding Danzo, using the man's own senses and eyes against him, overpowering everything that Danzo threw at him like it was absolutely nothing. In the end, Danzo found himself without any Sharingan left, shocked and mortified because he finally saw through Naruto Genjutsu, but even then it was another Genjutsu that he was under. As Danzo could not do anything, he could not escape, he was stuck. There was nothing that he could do to fight against this. In the end, he tried to absorb Naruto, but Naruto overpowered the seal, literally, but in doing so, he gave away his position. Upon reaching towards the top floor, the masked man appeared right on time. That is when Mito arrived, having been training nearby, and she saw the side of Naruto's face before he was taken away. Tsunade and the others arrived on the scene, as the whole village had felt the explosion and the fluctuation of power. Tsunade was rather mortified and shocked to what she saw. Danzo, without an eye, and also one of his arms removed as well. Speaking of that, Naruto kept it to himself, the arm and Shisui eye as well, and he did not tell the masked man anything about it. Mito went to Sasuke and informed him of what she saw. She told no one else. However, Sasuke did not seem happy because she thought that she saw Naruto before. He knew how much it weighed on all of them. But he just tried to be supportive and there for her, because denying her would simply accept the fact that he was gone and something that is not in this reality that she would do. It didn't matter how hard he tried. It was soon after revealed that Itachi knew that Naruto was the one, the new member of the organization. He was a pretty smart individual, seeing the space-time ripple, and he knew there was only one person that had that. Upon seeing that the masked man had saved Naruto. However, they were not there to fight but to talk. As Naruto knew everything, he knew the truth. He also understood why Itachi did what he did, knowing that Sasuke was the last Uchiha, to keep his name, to keep Konoha name safe with the Uchihas. He wasn't going to damn the entire bloodline. Naruto was curious though, as he wanted to know, how does he do it? How does he forsake everything? How does he power through mentally and physically? Itachi told him that what he was doing was hard. The amount of mental toll was unforgivable. However, Itachi believed in him. From a young age, Shisui always said that Naruto was the one that was going to bring light in this darkness world. It seems like he strayed off that path, however, he never actually did. He was still on that path. Whatever he was planning, whatever he was doing, why he was asking these questions, Itachi knew that Naruto was going to do the right thing, for the betterment of not just Konoha but for the entire elemental nation. And Itachi was right. Soon after, he leaked his own information, allowing Sasuke to come after him. Tsunade had sent out a team, more than one, a collaboration to take down Itachi Uchiha, one of Konoha greatest enemies, and a member of the ruthless organization known as the Akatsuki. However, the members were stopped by Kisame, who started to fight them, while allowing Sasuke to go ahead. The two brothers then started to clash against each other, giving it their all. While that was going on, a distance away, Naruto was watching everything take place, no longer having the interest to kill Itachi. Mito, on the other hand, had summoned a bunch of clones, and one of them found him. For a brief second, Naruto hesitated and it cost him, as Mito showed off what Jiraiya taught her, using a binding Fuinjutsu. Naruto was able to break it within seconds, however, that was all she needed. Hitting him with a wing technique, blowing away his hood, revealing his face, leaving her mortally shocked to see that it was actually him standing there. Not an illusion, it was him. As Naruto was caught. So yeah guys, basically that's what left off. You guys can switch across the place, check it out for yourself. So, what do you say we jump right into this? Let's begin. No guys. Kisame left the location as all of them converge upon him. Team 7, Team Guy, and Team Kurenai as well without Kurenai. However, the reason why he left was because he could no longer feel Itachi's chakra, and he knew exactly the outcome of the battle. He still had work to do, a part of the organization, so he left. However, standing there was Neji Hyuga, who was currently speechless to what he was seeing, as he was unable to actually believe it. Mito had used her clones in order to get past them, so that she could help Sasuke. Neji was confused though when he saw her turning off. However, he then saw that same person. Once again, he wasn't able to see much. His Byakugan proving to be rather useless, as seen behind that unimpenetrable hood. The entire clothing, he could not see anything, any mark or any sign to find out who that was. It seemed like Mito picked up on the person. Neji watched as she caught him off guard. Using Fuinjutsu, she got him, So shocked he was that he gasped, causing the others to turn their gaze towards him. It was Tenten that asked, "What is it?" she said. The next word that came from his mouth completely shocked the group as their eyes widened. "Naruto," he said, over towards the area. An unreadable expression was on his face. As Mito, eyes were wide, her hands trembling as she slowly advanced towards him. "Stay where you are," he said. His words caught her off guard as she came to a stop, her mind barely processing what he said as she spoke. "I knew it. I didn't know how, but I knew it. I knew that you were alive," she said. "I prayed. I begged. And here you are. Right here in front of me. I knew I saw you. That explosion within Konoha. I knew I saw you. And nothing could change my mind. I thought I was seeing things once again, but deep down I knew it. You're here. Alive. After all this time." She started to tear up. Stepping forward, "Where have you been? Do you have any idea how much Mito suddenly pulled back as Naruto's fists whipped past her face. Mito's eyes were wide in shock. The one that pulled her back was actually Kakashi. Yes, Kakashi was the one that pulled her back, allowing her not to be knocked away. The group had split themselves up. Both Neji or Hinata were unable to see Sasuke because of the amount of chakra saturating through the air. It would blind them. There was just too much chakra. They could not see through it, and it was painful with the amount of chakra in the air. Overwhelming, to be quite exact. So the group had split. Guy, Sakura, Hinata, and Shino had made their way, along with Tenten, to go over to the area that Sasuke was residing, while the others decided to come over here. Kakashi could not believe it. The fact that Naruto was alive, or the fact that he was different. It wasn't his features that threw Kakashi off. It was the aura that was coming from him. Whoever this was, it might be Naruto, but he was definitely not the same. As they all surrounded him, Neji, Kiba, Lee, their gaze narrowed and focused on him. Kakashi standing there. Mito straightened herself up, stepping back slightly. "Why would you do that?" she said. "She's right, Naruto-san," said Lee, stepping into a stance. "That wasn't very youthful of you. And if I remember correctly, you were a very youthful person the last time we fought." Lee said, his gaze narrowed. Maybe he's being controlled. It was Kiba that suggested that. After all of them thought that this guy was dead. Without the hood on, Neji was able to see his face rather clearly. However, he tried to see if there was any excess chakra mingling around his brain or any part of him that he could see, but he could not see any. He highly doubted that. "What's wrong with you? Why would you attack me? Why haven't you returned back to the village? We all thought you were dead. Do you have any idea what it was like thinking that you were dead, and all this time you were out there alive?" "Damn it, Naruto, say something! Answer me!" she yelled at him. However, he had yet to say a word. Neji suddenly shouted at her, "Move!" as he saw the chakra move into Naruto's feet. However, Mito was in a conflicted state right now. Courtesy though Kakashi was there, throwing her out of the way as his and Naruto's hand clashed against each other. The copy ninja bit back the pain that he felt from their hands slamming together, shocked by the abnormal amount of force that he was feeling. Sharingan, gazing into Sharingan, as Kakashi hand was shaking to fight Naruto off. His words came out calm despite the situation. "Why are you doing this?" he asked. Naruto did not say anything as Kakashi jumped away. Fang over Fang! Kiba came rushing in with Akamaru to incapacitate Naruto as they came, to knock him down from behind. They drilled into the ground because Naruto was gone. Lee felt the hair on the back of his neck stood up. He spun around with a brutal leaf whirlwind. Naruto grabbed his leg and flipped him as he lashed out with a brutal kick. However, Lee landed his hand on Naruto's leg, twisting himself as he brought his heel down. Naruto blocked it with one arm though. That was when ninja wires wrapped around Lee's stomach and pulled him back, courtesy of Neji before. A powerful wing technique viciously slammed into Naruto, launching him across the entire clearing. He bounced across the ground before he crashed into a broken wall nearby. It was Mito. Her eyes teared up, her fist clenched. After using her technique, someone was controlling him. The Naruto that she knew would never do this. He would never actively not try to talk to her and tell her and explain to her why he was doing this. He would never fight his friends. He would never try to hurt them. Someone was controlling him. They had to get him back to the village to fix him. They had to. As Naruto slowly rose to his feet, that shouldn't have been able to hit him, he thought. As Rock Lee was descending towards him, Kiba and Akamaru was rushing from the right. Kakashi trying to come in from his blind side. So did Neji as well. And Mito was head on. Naruto fully got to his feet as everything seemed to slow down around him. Emotion, one of the strongest things in this world. They were currently getting in his way, allowing him to get that easily distracted and hit. Otherwise, those things are never supposed to happen. From the first time he awakened his eyes, his chakra surged, fortifying his body, making him faster and stronger. And over the years, Naruto had learned how to completely master that, to the point that his strength was augmented to abnormal levels. Because with his eyes activated, his chakra was forcefully pushing out, becoming like a second layer under his skin, enhancing his punches, and when it came to his legs, enhancing his speed to drastic levels. And that was just one of the many things that he has done in the past 3 years. His Sharingan started to swirl as every single one of them were placed under Genjutsu within a matter of seconds. Kakashi was able to break it rather easily, so was Neji. However, Lee was having a difficult problem. The moment Mito saw the change in scenery, she knew what it was. The words of Jiraiya snapped in her mind as she placed her hand together and flared her chakra. The Genjutsu wasn't as powerful because it was targeted towards many people at once. And Naruto did not want it to be that powerful because he only needed a single second. The first was Akamaru and Kiba as they were launched, followed by Lee as he received a brutal kick in the chest that snapped him from the Genjutsu. Neji crossed his arm but Naruto broke through his reach, twisting underneath and driving an uppercut, launching him back. He then reached and grabbed Neji's leg and spun and threw him right into Mito before he flipped over Kakashi and launched a kick into his back, but the copper ninja spun. He tilted out of the way before driving a brutal fist within Naruto's stomach. Yet Naruto's left hand lashed out at abnormal speed and grabbed his wrists. When Naruto's feet touched the ground, he spun, lifting Kakashi off his feet as he launched him towards the group, crashing him into the other two, completely taking all of them down in a matter of seconds. But none of them was truly down. As they were rising back up, Naruto crossed his arm as a brutal kick slammed into his guard, launching him. His feet skidded across the ground. The next moment, a hail of weapons came raining down. Naruto dodged and twists, moving with superhuman speed that it seemed like he was blinking in and out of reality. As he jumped away, he felt the surge as he turned to see Hinata locked onto him as she thrust forward. Her hand outstretched, Naruto tilt. He grabbed her wrist before he slammed his knee in her stomach, before throwing her to the side. As he jumped back, he heard something as he looked up. When he moved away, Sakura's leg came down and obliterated the entire place, forced him to skip away as he landed softly, as the other group had returned. The problem was, they didn't have Itachi, corpse, or did they have Sasuke? But they were locked in on this right now, so they had to focus. Naruto sped through hand sign. Ninja art, he said. Sun release. Angelic powder. Small shimmers of powder started to release from his body as Mito dashed towards him. However, the next moment these powders implode together, creating an all-consuming light, forcing everyone to look away as no one could see. It only lasted for a few seconds. However, when it died down, Naruto was gone. He was nowhere to be seen. Neji and Hinata could not use their Byakugan, as the effects of the technique was still permeating through the air. And that with their Byakugan on a subatomic level would be catastrophic for their eyes. However, they could not sense him anywhere. There was a lot of sensors here. Shinobugs could not find him. Kiba could not sniff him out. It's like he just vanished like a ghost. Kakashi turned his gaze towards Guy. Where is he? Kakashi asked as he saw the look on Guy's face. They did not retrieve Sasuke. A distance away, a swirling vortex as Naruto emerged. The masked man standing there. It took you long enough. For a moment there I thought your interest was to fight them all. With your big secret now revealed, things are going to be a lot different, he said. They will be actively hunting you, time and time again. What have you done? Said Naruto. Where is Sasuke? He asked. Going by tone alone, well, he was in a bad mood. An extremely bad mood. I took him. Why? He was never a part of this. We had a deal. Our deal did not involve Sasuke. And besides, we are both seeking a better future for everyone. What will be the fault of having an extra member on our team? The Akatsuki recently suffered 2 losses with Kakazu and Hidan, and now Itachi is gone. We can't afford to have our members and numbers wane. Besides, don't you think it's time that you know the truth? Naruto's index finger on his right hand twitched. The masked man noticed that. I already know the complaints that you want to say. However, it's the only way for him to understand how broken this world is. As I slowly adjust to him, the creation of a far better world. The look on Naruto's face was unreadable, as he did not say a single word. He simply started to walk. The masked man watching him very carefully. Time skip. When Sasuke came to, he was in a strange place. The moment that his eye made contact with the other Sharingan user, the trap that Itachi set within Sasuke's eyes activated. Black flames encompassing the masked man. However, using his special technique, he was able to free himself. After recovering, he told Sasuke everything. Sasuke was shocked, mortified, going through an emotional banter that was slowly breaking and chipping away at him. Emotion was the greatest tool for a Uchiha in that rageful state. To think that all of his hate, all of his anger that has been with his brother the entire time was because of a mission that was incited by his own village. Rage overtook Sasuke, clouding his judgment, clouding his vision, turning his eyes into something else, and clouding his heart as well. Sasuke was still heavily injured from the battle. It would take some time for him to recover, And now with this new development, it would soon be time for him to receive Itachi eyes, to have the ultimate dojutsu of the Sharingan. However, as Sasuke was left to think about all that he was told, footsteps could be heard. Believing that it was the same masked man from before, Sasuke did not look up. However, he had this strange feeling, and when he did look up, his eyes widened in shock. Time skip. They didn't leave. It was one problem after another. She lost Sasuke. She found Naruto only to know that he was being controlled, and she lost him as well. Mito was going through a lot. However, it seems like someone had cursed her from this day on. Jiraiya, her mentor, her teacher, was dead. It sent her into a downward spiral, breaking her even more than before. And unlike last time, she didn't have Sasuke by her side. She didn't have anyone, as she confined herself in her feelings. It started to weigh heavy on her, extremely so. However, knowing the emotional state that their friend was going through, every single member of the rookie team tried to be there for her. Kakashi even came by as well, to check up on the girl, and they had a conversation. His words actually helped her a lot. Now that they knew that Naruto was alive, they could save him. And after analyzing the battlefield, he was certain that Sasuke was taken. Both Itachi and Sasuke had collapsed. They felt it when one of the chakra signatures vanished. That meant Itachi was the one that died, because she herself recognized Sasuke's chakra signature. That meant someone took them. For all they knew, it was the same person that did this to Naruto. That meant the both of them were out there, and they had a chance more than ever to bring them back, to save them both. That was the only thing that she clung on to, knowing that there was another threat out there, pain that Jiraiya fought. Mito knew that she had to get stronger than ever, and the Toads had an idea. She was off to Mount Miyaboku, aiming to return with the strength to bring Naruto and Sasuke back, to save the both of them. So she headed off. Time skip. The masked man was just telling Nagato to go and attack Konoha, to go for the Nine Tails, despite what he said to Naruto, despite what they had agreed about. However, he played this perfectly, he believed. Yes, he believed that he played this perfectly, and that everything was going rather well. While that was going on though, there was a young lady. She was wrapping bandages around Naruto's chest as someone entered the room. A man, wearing glasses, grey hair, seeming to be in his late 50s. "How are you feeling?" he asked, assuming the process went flawlessly. "I'm not feeling 100% just yet," said Naruto. "Yes, there will be some tiredness, however. I'm sure all of that will clear up in the next couple of hours." But the process went flawlessly. A risky one it was. Something most people would never even think of, given the great percentage of death that it does entail. But you two don't seem to fear that one bit. Naruto got up off the bed. "How is he doing?" "As I said, my work is immaculate. The rest will be up to the both of your bodies." Naruto made his way as Sasuke was seen, unconscious in a bed nearby. Naruto rolled his neck as he looked down towards Sasuke, unconscious form. He made his way towards a bag that he had, as he pulled out a scroll and handed it to the man. "All that you wanted inside," said Naruto. He brought his hand together and summoned a clone, as the clone moved forward and picked Sasuke up. As they started to head off, making their way. Once Naruto was gone, the man unsealed a scroll. Inside was a briefcase filled with cash. "I really believe that I will be a part of something rather Tragic, or rather wonderful, the man said, watching the young man leave the institution that they were staying for the time being. The girl simply looked at him. What if you were a part of mankind's downfall, and you did it all for some money, she said to him. He chuckled nervously. I don't think it will be that bad, he said. Time skip. Konoha was attacked as the members of Pain descended upon the village, causing great mass destruction and havoc. However, Mito arrived finally, but she was different, empowered by Sage Mode. Kakashi Hatake just arrived as well, along with a team of his choosing. They had been out trying to locate Sasuke and Naruto after getting some leads. Yamato was with him as well. Upon arriving, they were told to stay back because Mito had it handled, but the village was a wreck. Mito started to fight the 6 paths of pain. One by one, she demolished them as she got valuable intel, not just from the toad that had been there to witness, but from the slug that was summoned by Lady Snelly, the Inoshika-cho, father of Shikamaru, Inoichi, and Choza. But not just them. Several jonins of the village had went up against the path of pain, observing and learning their abilities. One by one, they watched it, they saw it all. And all of that information was now able to be accessed by Mito due to Snelly's summoning. So with that, she fought Pain until it was down to 2. She got captured by the last one, as he was going to take the 9 tails away from her until Kakashi intervened. Both him and Yamato arrived on the battlefield. Having used up a lot of his chakra, Pain was not in the mood to waste any time. Nagato sent him a rather large amount of chakra. He broke through Yamato bindings like it was nothing, raining down weapons upon them. He used those rods and impaled Yamato. He went after Kakashi as they clashed hand to hand before he knocked the man down with an almighty push. Kakashi tried his best tricks. However, the power of the Rinnegan was just too overwhelming, as Mito was unable to move due to the rods holding her down. Kakashi gave it his all, even when the odds were against him, even when he was hit with so much force that his bones creak and tremble in him, even when Pain slammed a rod right through his chest. In that moment, Mito lost it, accessing a great portion of the Demon Fox power. A full-on brawl, as she was ripping everything apart. Everything accelerated to abnormal levels as they ran far away. Pain went extreme, trapping Mito in a moon that he created. However, she met someone. She met her father, Minato Namikaze, who gave her a new perspective on everything. Despite being angry at him at first, his words made her believe that she could actually do this because he sealed the 9 tails inside of her because he believed in her. He trusted her. Upon returning, confident and ready, using the last of her sage energy, she took Pain down. She then proceeded to head straight towards where the real Pain was, having figured that out, using Sage Mode to track him. Upon arriving there, she met him. She also met Nagato, close comrade, Konan as well. A conversation happened between the 3 of them, mostly her and Nagato. And for the first time in a very long while, Nagato actually believed there was something other than destruction that could save this world. In the end, he revived every single person that he killed. On this day, he brought them all back. Upon seeing Kakashi when she arrived, he helped her get back to the village. Upon arriving to the village, everyone was there. exploding in cheers and happiness. And despite all the pain she's been feeling, the loneliness, believing that she could not save Naruto or Sasuke, in this moment, none of that was there. In this moment, she believed she will do it. She will do it all. Both Naruto and Sasuke were completely unaware of that, having no idea what was taking place within the village. As for the masked man, he was not pleased. Nagato turned against him, which pissed him off. Greatly so. Time skip. Both Naruto and Sasuke were hopping from tree branch to tree branch, when suddenly there was a swirling vortex that appeared in front of the both of them. The masked man emerged. "Why are you here?" said Naruto. "I hate to cut your little vacation short," he said. "However, your assistance is needed." Naruto narrowed his gaze as he looked at the man, watching him very carefully. Sasuke did not really say anything, as he stood there calmly. But before that, news. Konoha was attacked by Pain. Pain, the supposed leader of this organization. Sasuke asks. The masked man noticed Naruto's hand twitch slightly once again, but he tried to pay it no mind. He went after Mito. However, in a surprising turn of events, she bested him, with Konoha suffering great destruction. But in the end, he revived everyone. I'm guessing that he had a new perspective. As of this moment, we are no longer aligned with anything revolving around the Hidden Rain. Our plans and perspective have been changed. We're moving up the schedule. If we're no longer aligned with the Hidden Rain, or Conan for that matter, given that you haven't spoke about her just yet, what about Deidara and Sorcery? They will have to fall in line as well. Kisame is already on board, realizing the true goal for this organization. That is why I want you two by my side, as a new meeting will be having between the remainder of us, to make sure that everyone is on the right page. And also, there is a new member that I've brought in the fold. Well, new is not the correct word. He said in a rather cryptic way. Time skip. A rather deadly session was going to be had. Descending off the bird was both Deidara and Sorcery, arriving at a meeting called by the leader. Physically arriving. This was different. Usually, if he had an urgent matter, he contacted them in their hologramic form. The same happened when they had their meeting with the others about the death of Itachi and the new structure of the organization. At the time, Kisame was getting a new partner, which was none other than the new member. But something happened. It seems like they were less important, as they weren't being told the very important information. Upon arriving towards the location, they realized that they weren't alone. Arriving like they were ghosts was the two remaining members of the Uchiha clan. Sasuke's face was visual, but Naruto was wearing his hood. "You! What the hell are you doing here?" It was Deidara that spoke, remembering who was the one that killed Itachi. He was hoping that the both of them would kill each other, given his great disdain for the entire clan, because how Itachi acted. "Am I supposed to know who you are?" Sasuke said, pissing Deidara off greatly. "How about I show you, little punk? After all, now. A voice interrupted. "There's no need for that." All of them turned their gaze. Slithering from his hideout was none other than Orochimaru of the Sannin. Now this was a shocker of the century. Orochimaru of all people. Immediately, Sasori fired a Senbon needle directly towards his skull. However, Orochimaru dodged. It's good to see you as well, Sasori. Orochimaru had been quiet ever since the attack, and ever since he failed to kill Tsunade and failed to kill the nine-tailed brat once again. He had been quiet ever since, failing to get his hands on what he desired. So why was he here? And how on earth was he convinced to be wearing that? Before anything else could happen though, the masked man appeared in a swirling vortex. The only person that was not here was Kisame, having been sent to retrieve the 8 tails. He wasn't here at the moment. It was simple, Chus. The masked man chussed him more than everyone else. What the hell is this? Toby, what the hell are you doing here? Ah, Toby, a moniker that suits me. His voice was different. Deidara was confused. I believe it's time that you both know who is truly in charge of this organization. And that is me, he said. What? Sasori was surprised as well. This was a very big shock. None of them expected this. Nagato has betrayed this organization, and he's no longer with us. So I felt it was time that I step into the light after all this time. You expect us to believe that you buffoon idiot Toby, you are the leader of this organization. Okay, what the hell is going on? Where is the real leader? Turn his gaze slightly towards him, as Deidara felt a pressure from looking into the darkness of his eye hole. I advise that you remain quiet until I'm done speaking. However, Deidara still made a move. He sent a bird straight towards Toby. Well, I advise that you go and screw yourself, he said. Deidara was scared of the leader, but not Toby. Guts! An explosion went off, causing all members to flutter away. As Sasuke landed back, he turned towards Naruto. Now, Sasuke asks. No, not yet, said Naruto. As the dust cleared, are you trying to blow me up as well? Sasori said to his partner. When the smoke cleared completely, Toby was still standing there, unaffected. Orochimaru simply looked amused, as his gaze fluttered towards the 2 Uchihas that were standing there. Yes, he was fully aware who was under that hood. A lot has been done behind the scenes. After all, it took a lot for him of all people to be here. Are you done with your temper tantrum? Toby asked, looking towards Deidara. Screw you and screw this. This group has fallen to shambles, and I won't be taking orders from you, Deidara said. Fine. I knew there would be some resistance, and that is something I do not have time for. Kill him, Toby said, looking towards Naruto. However, Naruto did not move. Didn't you hear me? Kill him now. Naruto reached up as he pulled down his hood, revealing his face. He then started to unclip the hood. As he took off the cloak, throwing it to the side, it kicked up a lot more dust than a normal hood would when it hit the ground. Naruto started to crack his neck, his Sharingan flared into life. Oh, don't worry. I'll kill him, but not just him. I'll kill each and every one of them. It's a shame that Kisame could not make it, but I'll find him soon enough. What the hell are you doing? Toby said. Have you forgotten our deal? Oh no, I haven't forgotten. I've just decided that I've put up with a lot of your bullshit and no more. You think you can pull this all together and rule it all under your command? Well, you're heavily mistaken. Well, Orochimaru said. It seems you're not in charge as you originally thought. Toby held his hand up and activated something with a single hand sign, causing Naruto to drop down to one knee. And that was it. That is why Orochimaru was here. Toby found him some time ago, and a deal was struck, a promise was made. He promised to hand him Naruto, telling him all about the seal that he placed inside of him. That would give him full control over his body. He did it while Naruto was unconscious for those couple of hours, showing the Sannin proof. It was something that the Sannin had desired for some time now, and the thought that he could have it was a relishing idea. Despite the fact he still had no idea what the masked man truly wanted, he only knew that he needed his power for what he was planning. However, Orochimaru truly believed with Naruto's body, he would be unstoppable. In 1 month time, he will have to change bodies. The Sannin smirk. It seems like an opportunity has presented itself. Allow me to take him right here and now, and you have my loyalty for your plans. Toby did not expect this at all. Well, he expected it, but he didn't expect it to be so soon. Speaking of expectations, looking up, Sasuke was already dashing towards Deidara and Sasori. He had a blade out with the sole intention of swiping them. Confusion was ringing at Toby at the moment. Why would he go after them instead of trying to attack him? So far, it shows that his allegiance was with Naruto after their reconciliation. So why would they? Toby's eyes went wide as there was a flash and a very powerful burning sensation. Instincts made him move the moment he saw the flash. But even then, pain racked him, tearing through his form. Toby reappeared a distance over to the side. His entire right arm was gone. His mask had crumbled, exposing a part of his face. The attack did not even hit his mask, but the sheer potency and strength behind the attack. His right side had been gouged out. It was now dripping blood. He was in pain as his right leg had been burned severely by the quick attack that Naruto had released. If he was a second slower, he would have been wiped out of existence. Damn it. Naruto cursed under his breath. His guard was still up despite being a bit distracted. He thought he timed it perfectly, but he was a bit off. Toby looked up, frustration in his eyes. How? He said, looking towards Naruto, showing his messed up face. My body belongs to me, said Naruto. His gaze firmly fixated on the Sannin instead of the one that he was talking to. Did you really believe I would not notice? Did you really believe I would not think? After all, you told me everything that you desire and wanted. I knew that you would never trust me so easily. You must have something planned. I give you, it was difficult to get that thing off. It was a thinking process, knowing that you could be alerted or I could die. However, Naruto grabbed his shirt and pulled it down, showing the mark. I guess I owe you for this. Orochimaru's eyes light up in delight. Ah, I was wondering. To see it's still active. Wait, why does it look so different? Well, that's just a mystery that you will never solve, said Naruto. As he looked towards Toby, it seems my flames can burn everything, even seals themselves. Toby grunted in frustration as he had to leave. He had to go away as he reappeared inside his dimension and collapsed. His body needed time to heal. He was heavily injured. Orochimaru started to realize how bad things went so quickly. His plan, his part in this, He snapped his gaze when he saw a strange purple construct appear around Sasuke as the arm crashed, shaking the entire cave, forcing Vader and Sasori to move away. Several explosives hit the thing from the side and behind. However, it held up strong as Sasuke revealed the eternal Mangekyou Sharingan. That is when Naruto's eyes started to change as well, exposing his Mangekyou. The detail and theory behind his eyes were different. They've never bleed. They did not show any weakness at all. In fact, they seemed to be only growing in strength. However, Naruto's eyes were different now. Before, the stars around, the sun in the center, those little triangle stars were not connected, but now they were connected, looping together like a pinwheel, giving it a rather aesthetic look, like the wheel of a captain's ship. And that was because, flashback, I think this belongs to you, Itachi said, as he called his bird, exposing Shisui's remaining eye. The other one was not in his possession, as he gave Naruto that one. I'm not sure what you're going to do, or how you're going to fix this all, but I have faith that you will, and you're going to need this to do it. As he handed Naruto his brother eye. In the flashback, upon obtaining the other eye from Danzo when he killed him, the surgery worked phenomenally. Naruto played his part rather well. The surgery worked well, and his eyes evolved. The yellow color in his eyes never changed. Perhaps the aesthetic had taken over Shisui once powerful gaze. As Naruto's eyes were vastly stronger than before. The mere opening of those eyes, there was this powerful aura that had the Sannin stepping back. The golden flame pattern of the mark spread over Naruto's body, showing that there would be no hesitation, there would be no holding back. Orochimaru started to back away as Naruto stepped forward. A violent eruption happened on the outside. The entire east wall of the cave exploded. A powerful wave of energy, erasing everything, not burning but erasing. Orochimaru turned his lower half into a snake as he started to run for his life. However, when Naruto moved off, he shattered the ground with the amount of pressure that he kicked off with. Orochimaru was kicked through at least 15 trees before he was grabbed by the face as Naruto sent him sailing like he was a rock. Naruto jumped so high in the sky, clearing the goddamn trees, his body oozing and overpowering with raw, unbelievable force. It reminded him of his battle in the forest, but now he was a predator and Orochimaru was the prey. Naruto held his hand together before signaling one hand sign. Ninja art sun release, he said. Atomic heat wave. Naruto held his hand down like a triangle. As it started to release, a ripple in the air, his energy turning into hot, unbelievable waves. The trees down below dried and died immediately. Orochimaru felt his skin boiling and burning despite being not directly hit. The Sannin realized what was gonna happen if he did not get out of here, so he went underground. He tried to flee, however, even the ground itself behind him was being destroyed and being erased. The Sannin fled and dig deeper, trying to move as fast as he possibly can, as he decided to break out and run in the opposite direction. But the moment he broke out of the ground, 2 fingers rested on his forehead. The Sannin blinked in terrifying shock. "You can't escape me," said Naruto. Despite not looking into those eyes, Orochimaru could feel The chakra trying to invade his mind. No, he refused, using his own chakra to try and fight it off. He started to run for his life, however, the ground underneath him ceased to exist. Orochimaru blinked in confusion. What is this? Where am I? You're within my creation. He heard a booming voice. Within my world. The Sanin eyes widened as he looked around to see 5 giant structures rising. However, upon further investigation, they weren't structures, they were fingers. The Sanin eyes widened as he was trapped within Naruto's palm. He flared his chakra at least a dozen times. It had to be a genjutsu, but it didn't matter what he did, he couldn't break out of it. In the real world, Naruto's finger was still resting on the Sanin temple. Orochimaru's eyes started to leak blood as his body was being oversaturated by the heat. His pores started to dry as the blood itself started to dry and stain on his face. The blood was because of his mind being liquefied by Naruto's technique. A powerful genjutsu, mixed along with the sun rays that he was manipulating. From a young age, from he learned about his eyes' powers, he was able to learn that they slowly gather rays of the sun. However, with the evolution of his eyes, those rays and the amount start to get larger and larger, giving Naruto full manipulation to create the first sun release techniques. And it wasn't even one that he created. He created several. After all that he's done, all the people that he's hurt, the Sanin was burned into nothingness as Naruto erased every cell, every fiber of the man. Making his way back, Naruto saw Sasuke emerging from the broken cave. The Susanoo hand stained with blood after crushing someone. Sasuke and him had a rather long conversation. Sasuke had punched him in the face, not once, not twice, but 3 times, for all that he did. However, Naruto told him that, just like him, the emotional awakening of what happened had held him back, physically and mentally, from returning, because he didn't know what he would do. He made right for their clan by killing Danzo Chimera. However, it wasn't going to stop there. He wanted to fix this broken world, and he knew how to. But it involved a lot of chaos and death, and a lot of sacrifice. Sasuke always believed in Naruto doing the right thing. Even from before, he was always on the right path. Itachi sacrificed everything for them. Maybe it's time that they sacrifice everything, not for the village, but for the entire world. At first, Sasuke was angry, rageful to what Naruto was suggesting, but after 16 hours of convincing and showing him that before there shall be peace, there shall be death, because they would be executing thousands of people, causing a worldwide massacre before they could complete their plans. They would never allow another Itachi to be born. They would never allow another child to be mixed up into something that twists him to levels that he himself could not even see. They will fix it all. You get him, Sasuke asked. Yeah, said Naruto. Now, it's time to find the masked man and end him. Because I can't move on to step 2 until he's dead. You mean we can't move on, Sasuke said. Yeah, exactly, said Naruto. With that, the both of them made their way. Time skip. Kisame was making his way as he had the unconscious 8 tails. That is when he paused as Samehata alerted him that there were 2 people nearby. Kisame turned as he saw the both of them. They appeared out of nowhere, seamlessly appearing, despite Samehata feeling their chakra. It was the Uchihas, both of them standing there. Hopping down to the location, as they finally found him. "We should talk," said Naruto. Time skip. Toby was mad. He was furious. Kisame was nowhere to be found. Every single goddamn member of the organization was now gone. He needed more power. He needed a lot more power. He made his way towards the hidden rain. Konan was expecting him, as both of them got into a battle, with her activating 60 billion explosive bombs. However, he sacrificed one of his eyes, another that he transplanted after the ruthless beatdown that he got, quick and fast, that almost ended his life. Knowing that he would need the eye for a desperate situation like that, he performed a very special technique of the Sharingan as he rewrote reality. Konan thought that he was dead. It seems like she never needed that intervention, she thought to herself. At least, he's finally dead. Toby said, appearing behind her. Her eyes widened as he pulled the rod back that he had in his hand, as he released his intangibility, and there was a flash in that moment. Toby was standing there confused, wondering what that was. He tried to stab Konan, but he couldn't feel the strength in his hand. Confusion rocked him as he didn't quite understand. Why couldn't he feel the strength in his hand? Wait, what was going on? Why was the world tilted to the side? Why was everything tilted? Those were some of his final thoughts as his head dropped into the water, his body falling into the water as well. Standing a few feet away from him, holding on to Sasuke's blade, was Naruto. Konan turned as she faced him, looking rather tired herself. She looked towards him with a skeptical gaze, as he had the power to end her life, especially with her weakened position. However, he lowered the blade. He came to her. He knew the move the masked man was going to make. He knew it all. He predicted this. Konan at first refused his help. She didn't need it. However, if she did not want to take his help, they were going to fight, and he would take the Rinnegan and then wait on the masked man. So, she decided to allow it, knowing that she could not get herself involved with two battles, especially having no earthly knowledge on anything that he can do, or why his grudge against the masked man was just like theirs. All of this, all of the problems and chaos now, falling towards the bottom of the ocean. His face still covered by that damn mask, as he plummeted to his death. Upon the kidnapping of the Eight Tails, the Raikage decided to call a meeting. His brother was taken, and that was the reason why allegiance and forces were now having to drawn together from all nations. "So what now?" said Konan, not knowing the next step, curious on his plans. "Your village is free. They still have you to rule over them, so do that. When actions are taken in this world, when the other nations rise, do not intervene, or you will fall with them," said Naruto. "So you're going to go to war with all of them? Why? Why kill him then?" she said, curious on his motives, despite wanting to kill the masked man herself. This person had so many unknowns that she just wanted to know. Pain was right about one thing. This world is broken, and it truly needs someone to fix it. With that, he walked away. Time skip. Naruto regrouped with Sasuke. "It's done," Naruto said. There was a look on Sasuke's face. "What is it?" "With him dead, we are now the last two Uchihas left." "Yes, we are," said Naruto. "However, you did say that you wanted to restart the clan. Better than ever, didn't you?" Sasuke nodded his head as he gazed outwards. However, with what we have to do, with what is going to happen, he looked away despite the anger I'm feeling. There are certain things, people, that I can't help but think about. Since that day, you haven't told me what you thought about the situation revolving her. After everything, you know how much she cares about you, Sasuke said. Naruto was quiet until he turned. Upon turning, Naruto punched Sasuke viciously across the face. Sasuke was caught off guard. Another. Naruto beat the living crap out of him until he was bloody and on the verge of passing out. Sasuke tried to raise his hand in defense, however, Naruto simply slammed his fist in his face once again, knocking him out cold. His lip was busted, his eye was swollen, he was bloody, his nose was broken. As Naruto looked down towards him, however, the emotion in his eyes vanished the next moment as he picked Sasuke up. Time skip. Izumo and Kitetsu were residing at the gate when suddenly they saw something. Confused they were at first, until they stepped out of the booth as they saw someone on the ground. Their eyes widened. Lying there was a bloody and beaten Sasuke. Time skip. Konoha made her way towards the room where the statue once resided, as the statue was no longer there. The Gedo statue that contained the power of the beasts, it was gone. Wait, she said to herself, making her way towards the location where the two bodies reside, one of them of Yaiku, the other one Nagato. Nagato still had the renegons in his eyes. As her eyes widened, as she understood the implications, another one, she said to herself. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next person, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification stay posted. But I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace.